Hello and welcome back to another session of Intune.training, the Steve and Adam show. It's been a minute. I'm Adam.
Hi, Adam.
And that's Steve. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
It's going all right. According to YouTube, it's been 90 days since our last video.
Wow.
We've gone from weekly to, whenever we get a minute.
We went from weekly to once a month.
Yeah, I mean, this is technically our first video of 2025.
Yep.
So happy New Year and Christmas and hope
holidays and all of that
and
fun stuff, and hope you got everything Intune training branded as Christmas presents.
Distant memories at this point, but here we are. We are back.
I believe Thanksgiving in there as well.
Yeah.
And it's Lunar New Year this weekend.
Oh, right. It's the year of the snake. Shedding off all the old, I don't know what I'm acting like I saw a headline or something that said shedding, but my daughter brought they were doing
they brought a snake into your house.
No, check this. This is a Christmas present, and back here I got some artwork from my children. My son drew me a fish and stuff, and I got a stained glass, and I got things. So yeah. Awesome. Anyway, I don't know what we're doing. Let's do some tech stuff. Hey everybody, we've missed you. So I think in our last video I mentioned this, but my son and my son's 10. We got involved with a Lego robotics league, and I started coaching a team for the very first time with them, and we had a blast doing it. Great opportunity to hang out with my son, and we did a competition, and we did okay, and that was fine, and that's all done. We didn't advance to the next round. Thankfully, needed a break from it, but that kind of consumed all of my free time, and so impacted us being able to do videos. So sorry, but not sorry, because it was totally worth it, and you guys have had a lot of my time. So thanks for bearing with us. Hopefully we haven't lost everybody, and we'll get back into this a little bit. But we're here.
Yes.
How's it going, Steve?
Things are going good. Things are going really good. We're having a lot of fun. Making sure that we're making Windows better for everybody. We'll keep it as simple as that. There's some
if you're not familiar, I won't disclose anything. Steve works for Microsoft, and so he is actively working on improving aspects of Windows that are very much relevant to things that we hear feedback from in the community on things that are broken that could work better and stuff. So thanks, Steve, for continuing to tighten up things and improve some stuff for us. So
I'm trying to influence the improvements. There's some pretty cool stuff coming, and all I will say is make sure you keep on getting your feature updates and cumulative updates installed.
Yeah, they may or may not have some little Easter eggs in them.
Yes. Yeah, they're not Easter eggs; they're fixes.
Yeah, they're Easter eggs because no one will know that they're there. You didn't tell anybody, but then they'll say, "Wait, that used to be broken. I swear it never worked." Or they'll slide it in and then they'll take it right back out. I don't know. We'll see how it all goes.
That's called
but if you've got feedback about stuff, certainly drop some comments in our comments section, or tag him on Twitter at On-Prem Cloud Guy, or X, whatever you want to call it. Or you can do Blue Sky. I think he's on Blue Sky. We're on Blue Sky. I open it once a month or something, and that's about it.
I'm impressed with the number of followers we have without actually posting anything.
I know. It's quite amazing. Anyway, we are just rambling on, mainly because it's been a minute since we've spoken with everybody, and so this is kind of our little catch-up video.
You know what I think we should also mention, Adam, because I'm pretty excited about it. We're going to be at MMS.
I know. So literally just moments before we hit record on this, I got emails stating that 2 sessions that Steve and I are both going to be hosting together were accepted. And in fact, I don't know if we didn't talk about it, Steve. So all 3 of my accepted sessions at this point are with you as my co-speaker. So yay, we're going to do that. So we're doing Intune.training live again. We are. So super excited about that. Maybe we'll try to do what Jóhannes did in Fort Lauderdale and like try to live stream it, which we've never done before. Probably not.
We'll discuss. I think that's a bigger conversation for the event organizers.
Yes. But one of the cool sessions that we just got accepted on was we're calling it Stump the Expert. So it's going to be a completely brand new idea that we came up with, and we don't know how it's going to go, but we hope it's going to be fun. If you've got a ticket to MMS, awesome. Hope to see you there. If you don't have a ticket, I think they still have some tickets, maybe.
Yes, they do.
So definitely go to mmsmoa.com and sign up and get you a ticket to go. We'd love to see you there. We love it. It's a great venue. And if it's too late to get approval to go for the spring conference in Minnesota, sign up for the one in Nashville in October. All the details are at mmsmoa.com. It's in like late October, I believe, for that conference. So we'd love to see you there. We love the people. We love seeing return visitors, but also new folks. I mean, we get probably more than 50% of the attendees here every time are new people that have never been to MMS before. So certainly excited to get ramped up for that for this season. So
exactly.
So there we go. That's
complete.
So that's kind of all of our promo things and all of our background and our history and where we're at. And hopefully by now you've actually read the title of this video and you know what we're going to talk about, and you skip to where you want to be. But yes. Steve, what are we going to talk about today, whatever time you're watching this?
So in this video, see what I did there?
Yeah.
In this video, we're going to talk about Kiosk.
Wait a second.
Because we love talking about Kiosk.
Didn't we do kiosks?
We did, sort of.
We did Windows. Our last video was like
of
Windows
Kiosk.
Something.
Yeah, restricted user experience.
Yeah.
But in this one, we're going to focus on the Apple experience.
Woo!
Namely iOS. So how do we set up our iPad into that restricted user experience or multi-app kiosk scenario where we sit there and we lock it down so you can run 3 or 4 applications and that's it. That's all your users get, and you as an admin don't have to ever worry about the device until it gets run over or thrown or liquid poured over it, or you get the picture.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about, is how do we magically make this work, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. We've got our resident Apple expert going to be doing all the driving and navigating, being Adam.
Is that get a new title? Okay.
Yes.
I've got all I've been clicking through things recently, so I got some idea what we're doing. Well, okay, so here we are. We're at the Intune portal. I'm going to drive into. I'm going to filter everything down to the iPad iOS section here. And for the sake of the demo, we've already got an iPad built and ready to receive. So we're using, for this scenario, we're doing, there it is. Let me just set it so that my screen won't time out. So we've got it configured for user affinity mode for this. But technically, the experience should not differ very much between the two, between using this and the non-user affinity enrollment profile. And so we're talking about the enrollment program tokens and stuff. We've got another video on that if you want to go through.
Yeah.
All of that.
So there is some nuances associated, but for this scenario, what we're going to talk through is the user affinity and what we're going to be setting up. So from a high level, what we have already set up behind the scenes is we've created a iOS profile, happy days. We've registered the device into Apple Business Manager. That's a requirement if you're wanting to use supervisor mode. Supervised mode. I know I'm being pedantic, but I think they use supervisor mode. It's not supervised. Okay. It's weird.
Okay.
So if we then go,
it does say it's supervised here in the Intune console. So that's So is the device supervised? Yes or no?
Yes,
in this
there we
case,
go.
you need to have them enrolled in Apple Business Manager first, and then connect all that to Intune. We've got another video on all that, so go check that out in our reboot series.
And then this is where you can have the my words are broken today. You can set user affinity and everything associated with that. So when you set up the device, you go through the enrollment and set it all up. So we've done all of that. Where we're going to start off here now is we're going to create a new profile in here where we're going to set a screen layout. And why we want to set the screen layout is we only want to show the set number of applications that are allowed. And Adam's just setting the profile on his iPad to not go to sleep. So when he goes back there, he doesn't have to worry about it.
Correct, sir.
Yes. So in here, we're going to go to templates. Yeah. And then we're going to do device restriction, I believe.
Now, and I know we've talked about this, multiple times and stuff, but many things are coming to settings catalog. Some of it will go just move into settings catalog, but for things that are still like collections of things, many of those things will still be displayed as templates, even though they'll technically be sitting on the DCV2 engine on the background that settings catalog runs on.
Exactly.
So the question, Steve, and I don't actually know the answer to this, is are the device restrictions things that we're going to set, are they also available in settings catalog if we wanted to do them there?
I've not checked. I would not. I don't think so is the statement, because you need to then present it in a certain format. So there's a whole nuanced association with it. And you'll see that when we get into setting the layout, you have a graphical user interface where you can go and set that layout. So you then need to know how to present that in the correct format.
Right.
So in here, we have the ability to do the kiosk function. Yay, kiosk. And this is where you can go run in kiosk mode, and you can say, well, store app, managed app, built-in app. And what you'll note is with this, what we're talking about is the actual application itself. So this is where you're saying, I'm going to run managed app in this mode. So that sounds great, except that's going to limit me to one application, and that's all I'm going to see appearing. So kiosk in this scenario is not what we're wanting to use.
Well, and so, and I think we kind of talked about this in previous videos on the definition of that you have for kiosk varies widely amongst the use cases. So like in my environment, we call kiosks different things. We can have, because, you get single app, multi-app, you get Windows kiosk, you get non-Windows kiosk. So yeah, and this one, this would be like you go to a doctor's office and they hand you an iPad and they say, follow the wizard to sign in to your, to register for whatever. That type of scenario. And this would be the use case for that. But for what we're going to do, we're actually going to do a managed, locked down kiosk-like experience where we just got a
multi-app scenario.
Yeah. All right. So we are not going to use this.
Going to set that to not configured.
Okay.
And we're going to minimize that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to restricted apps. And this is where we can specify the apps that we're restricting to. So we're not necessarily going to fully type this in because it's a little bit of an effort, but this is where if you're running multiple applications and that's all you want, you go here and say, these are my allowed applications, and that's it. And you put the URI or URL to the App Store for it, the app bundle, and the app name.
Fun fact, Steve. Earlier this week, IT security asked us to block a specific application.
Would this be by a social media application that plays short videos?
No, it's actually not, because that one got banned in our country, apparently, or I think.
Not yet.
There is a very popular new AI engine that
never heard of it.
Seeks out deep information, apparently. And it's funny because I just saw a post that said, hey, that whole catalog has been leaked or hacked or whatever. So that's neat. So they asked us to block that guy. And so just went through the process of trying to figure out, well, how do I get the bundle ID and all that sort of stuff? So there's actually an API that you can call the iTunes store with and pass it in the app name or the app ID that you can get from the iTunes store, and you can actually get the bundle ID from a JSON object that it returns and stuff. So that's
nice.
a thing to be able to build this stuff out. But also, what you'll notice here is that if you dig into the instruction or the details on how this works, this is actually for reporting purposes, not for blocking of things.
Interesting.
So much. So lists of apps that you want to be informed about when users install them. So in fact, the Microsoft Docs have this. They're not the docs, but like the Microsoft support site lists out all the different options for creating restricted apps things, and they talk about the nuance here of restricted apps. So this doesn't actually do what you want it to do. So as is the case with our stuff, Steve and I did not practice any of this in advance, so he doesn't know I'm about to derail things and go down this path. He knew. Come on, let's be honest. This is what we do. So I'm going to go into Settings Catalog, and I'm just going to call it Test because I'm not going to save this. But there is a restrictions here, and
app install restriction was there. Scroll up just a touch. Allow app installation. Is that what you're looking for?
I don't actually remember what it was actually called, but allow app installation. No, that's not the one.
That's actually a pretty good one too, because you can sit there and disable the ability to install apps, and it gets past the problem.
How about Intune, block apps on iOS, and there it is. This should be the one, or it's this one. It was a nice support. Yeah, this one. So I thought this was a very informative article. So this is the one I was talking about. So it gives you under reporting, you can look at discovered apps to see what's there, but then you can do reporting on restricted apps. And so this explicitly says this is a reporting function, which is cool. And then hide and prevent the launch of an app. So this is where we would go into the blocked app bundle there under. So we're looking. So I was in the right spot here. We just needed to go down to blocked app IDs. And so you need the bundle ID still, and you put those in, and then that actually will present a block message on the screen for the user.
You attempt to use the app.
Yep. And what I actually found was that when we set that, I had just installed the app from the company portal, and it had the launch button in company, or not company, sorry, in App Store.
App Store, yes.
And it had the launch button, and so, or open or whatever. So I clicked it, and it immediately popped up the message. But then when I went back to the main screen and searched for it, the app is invisible. It doesn't appear to be installed on the box. So this is actually the place we would want to go and put our bundle IDs in order to block it.
That's good to
know. Just found that out this week. So our video would have been completely wrong earlier. So
that's never happened. There you go. Blocked app IDs.
It was right there as I started typing the thing. So, all right. So anyway, that's where we would put them if we needed to do the blocked app ID.
Perfect.
All right. So back to you, Steve.
Yeah.
What else you want to do?
So what we wanted to do is show or hide apps. So second last one. This is where we can sit there and go, we set our visible apps. And we then specify what we're going to present. And this is all you're going to see, right? There is another one. I can't remember where it's located because it's been a minute since I've gone in and played with this, but you can set a layout for your iPads.
So that one is another policy. So it is not a restrictions policy, but it's a device features.
That's
features policy.
That is exactly it. Go, Adam, our Apple expert.
I'm being very descriptive in this policy name.
Yes,
no emojis today. Oh, I got all these stories, Steve. I'm sorry, but our IT security, we had an incident. We touched a production policy. It caused some problems. People didn't like it. They had a investigation into it. We got asked all these questions about it. And in that process, we said, well, oops, but how do we prevent that from happening? Well, you've got multi-admin approval, but it doesn't in Intune, but it doesn't support policies or anything. So how do we prevent our production policies from getting edited, whatever? Because you know that when you're creating a dev and test, you got them side by side, and oops. So we are using emojis as visual indicators on our production policies to hey, do not edit kind of experience there. So we're just. But hey, it's a very practical use of those icons, so it's kind of cool.
Yes, makes sense. So,
all right, so this is what you were looking for here, Steve.
It is.
Change the layout and how you want it to be.
Yep.
Now here's the trick on this one.
Yes.
Whatever you put here is all that shows.
That's correct.
So you have to, if you want a bunch of stuff, you got to put all the things. But so we talked about this at work. We were like, what if I just want to take all of the store apps or all the core apps or whatever, all of our business apps. I want to make a folder. I want to put them in there as a starting point. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It's this forces them into that thing and they stay there and you can't.
Correct.
And this is all you get. And it's not a great experience for a device you want someone to treat as their own and be able to customize.
And that's a really, really, really good point there, Adam. This is around, I have a set purpose or scenario that this is going to be used for, period. It is not for you to go and say, I'm doing my startup screen for my end user. There's other solutions for that. They are varying in their positivity and usefulness.
Yep.
We'll keep it that simple. But this is where, as we said, we can go and also, we have to put a company portal there because we need to be able to go and see if we can install other apps. Mm-hmm. Maybe we want to put Defender on there as well.
You don't need to open Defender for anything.
True. Well, no, you do if you're wanting to turn on a couple of things. But anyway, we don't need to really be too concerned about this. We're going to throw a few apps on there.
Looking for the settings button. That's settings. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So there we go. So we got a couple items. It's going to just stick them where we want. We could make a folder here if we wanted to.
Yes.
So we can do folder.
So what you could do, for example, here you create a folder. Yes, I'm jumping in. You can create a folder for inbox apps. And these are things that you're not going to use often, but they're useful to have there. So say, for example, you may want the camera application. You may want, like books or calculator, where they're useful, but do I really need them there?
Right.
The answer is no, you don't need them. Lean into your inner ego of, I need to control everything running on this device because it is a managed device and that's all they should see.
Yeah, this is that one time where we encourage you to step in and say, yes, I'm going to do this. Now, I'm purposely adding a whole bunch in there just to goof off, but you would ideally, in the kiosk scenario, you want to hide as much of this stuff as practical.
So the reason why Adam has explicitly added the settings app on there is because he knows that if you don't add it, it gets added anyway as the last application in the list.
Oh, does it? I actually didn't know that, Steve.
Well, okay. So the settings app is a magic app in the iOS ecosystem.
Mainly because if you don't have it on a device and you've bricked it, you
have to restore from Apple Configurator on a Mac device.
Yeah, and that's why I was including it, because if it's not there, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah, but if you don't have the settings app, you can't go and set network. You can't go and set a whole heap of things.
So what's great is like we can just go and move it to another position, and now we've stuck it on a second screen, and it's out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
And
that's exactly it, right? It is good to have it there so you can handle that. You can turn off all your app notifications. You can go bananas on here now, right? Like realistically, you want to set a lock screen message of going, the pin code is 0000, as an example. Sounds silly, but it's a shared device. So why would you not be concerned about that? And watch it fail when we attempt to do it. But yeah, so this is, think of this as like somebody walking around a factory floor or whatever. That's what it's for. We can set a wallpaper if we want, but I know Adam hasn't prepared an image, so we're not going to put him on the spot.
Do you remember our very first video where we spent 20 minutes making a graphic?
Yep.
We should, trying to figure out how Photoshop worked.
Yes.
We should do that again. That was fun.
Yeah, let's not and say we did.
All right. Fine. Okay.
Hey, we've actually learnt, viewer.
Yes, we have. Now, here's an interesting one, Steve. So
I like this one.
You can do web content filtering here.
Yes.
But did you also know, Steve, that you can do content filtering through Defender?
Yes, you can.
And the great part about that is you don't actually need to configure it within Defender here in the Intune portal. You farm this out to your security team, and because you have your devices connected to Defender, then they can build out your Defender policies in the security.microsoft portal, and now all your web filtering is done in one centralized location, and then they can just target based on groups and profile your devices and all that sort of stuff. So I would, in the absence of that, sure, come here, set up your URLs that you want to use and all that kind of stuff. But
and this is where you can set it on top of that as well. And the reason
it's like if Defender's not working or if they haven't built it out right, it's at least a double.
It's the other side of it is you've got a general policy in Defender for all of your iPads, but for your managed device, I only want this website for this device.
Oh, I guess sure. Like where we explicitly say it's not a filtering so much as a forcing a specific site. So if you launch a browser, this is the only one you ever can get to.
Correct.
Period.
Yeah. So I've got some customers that do kiosk scenarios, and they use the Edge profile where you can restrict or limit the URIs that your OS can get, your browser can get to. And this is where I'm curious to check if you hover on the blocked URLs, do you need to put all of the other addresses in there?
Well, let's see what it says. Uses Apple's built-in auto-filter algorithm, look for adult language, blah, blah, blah. The function. Okay, if you have specific URLs that you need to bypass the filtering algorithm, add them to the permitted URLs. If you have specific URLs that you need to be blocked regardless of the auto-filter, add them to the block list. So this
what
is
you want to
actually...
do, that's a different one.
Oh, that's different than this.
Yeah, you want to do
specific websites. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So then that's not the same as their using their autofilter. These URLs are added to the browser's bookmarks, and users are not allowed to visit any sites other than these. Aha! Look at us.
That's the one we want.
I love doing this live. This is great.
And we just want to put a title of Intune.training because it's the most important place to be.
Yep.
And you just leave it as the default, and that would be it, right? So we're sitting there and saying, this is all you can use. Done. Well, and obviously we need to add... yes, we should add that as well.
Just saying.
Yes.
All right.
So that's going to be our profile that we deploy out, where we've got our content filtering. You can go and do a whole heap more associated with it. As we said, this is the one time where you're in a control freak is important.
Yep.
Because you're wanting to limit how your users are going to access this device. I think it's safe to do that.
Yeah, we've only got the one iPad in here at this point, so we're gonna or two. Oh yeah, sorry, Steve's got his set up as well.
Yep.
All right. So, so before we hit go on that, let's go back into the templates and go back into the device restrictions.
Yes.
And kind of talk back through some of those guys. And ideally, you just saw us deploy to all devices, but we've only got 2. We didn't make a group, so sorry. But ideally, you would,
as we always say, create your own groups.
Yes. So just to go down. Oh, look, I already had this one open still. Okay, so if I can't remember if we've done filters. Have we talked about filters yet?
I know we did originally, but I don't know if we have recently.
Okay.
In this tenant.
Yeah, we kind of don't. So we will come back and touch on filters in more detail in another video. Let's just plan to do that. But just a quick tip on what I recently did was one of the things you can do is you can use the enrollment profile as a way to identify a particular set of devices. So let's say that you have a user affinity profile, you have a shared device profile, you have a whatever. You've got 3 different types of profiles. When you're configuring your profiles in your enrollment node for here, which we alluded to earlier. So you go to enrollment program tokens, go in here, and you've got all your profiles. So you're going to assign your devices to these profiles before you attempt to build them. So if you have different flavors of these profiles, you assign those, and then you can use filters to dynamically, instantly figure out which. Oh, look at that! I've already. It already has applied all the stuff. Remove all that junk. No, but it added. It's doing it because it created a folder with all this junk in it. So sweet. Sorry, got derailed there. Okay, so back here. So then you would create a filter using, you just put the name of this profile in that filter. And then later when you're targeting your stuff, you can do all devices and then you do your profile filter. And it's really fast. It's instant. You're not having to wait for the group memberships to update and things like that. So just kind of a nice little quick tip on that while we're in here.
Indeed.
Okay, so then if you're like, I've got a client that I'm working with actively. Hey, Bob, he runs a library, and so he's got shared iPads that children use, and so we've gone through and we've set up kiosks, very much like what we're doing here, and we've gone through and said block on pretty much as many things as we could get block set on, because we don't want those users, those are just like kids sitting there watching random things on these iPads, and we don't want them to do pretty much anything else on those. And so we want to protect the children. We want to protect them from getting the stuff they shouldn't get to. And so in this section, there's all, just you search for block, and it's probably here several dozen times, and you can just go down the list of block, all the different things. So this is very much a do what, read each of the things and figure out what makes the most sense for this scenario that you're planning on using this with. So we're not going to go through, I don't think, Steve, and and go and try to set all of these things, but just be aware that this is where you would want to do this. This is the stuff that is going to help you really get these devices locked in a way that meets your needs.
Exactly.
And you'll be able to prevent specific, that's not it. You can do the show or hide apps at this point as well, as a different Or sorry, we were already here. What am I doing?
Yep.
Not that one. Wireless. Let's see, what do we have here? So you can block data roaming, you can block voice roaming, block personal hotspot. Like that's a great one, because in that way people can't go turn on the hotspot to then let people use the hotspot of the iPad. But I think that only works if you got cellular installed anyway, probably.
Correct.
But if you happen to have it, you don't want any of that kind of stuff. Require that the Wi-Fi is always on. So like, hey, we can't ever turn that off. Require devices to use Wi-Fi network set up via configuration profiles. So that's a good one. Like you've got a corporate network that you want your users or your devices to always connect to. You're going to want to set that up with a configuration profile under settings. There's a template for Wi-Fi. So you'd set up your Wi-Fi template, you'd put down certificates on the box, etc., or the tablet, all of those sorts of things. So what else, Steve?
I think that's it. The interesting thing that we're finding, and I'm seeing the same experience that Adam's seeing here, is when I go and look at my device, it's actually telling me that it's cleaned up, but I still have a whole heap of other apps on my screen.
Yeah, that second page is full of stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
Not sure what we did wrong there or if something's broken. Seems a little bit strange. Maybe I mean, all I can think, Steve, is that it's possible that because we didn't explicitly put all of those, like we didn't give all of these things a home, it didn't do anything with them.
Yeah, and maybe we need to turn off the built-in apps and explicitly allow them.
Right. Block Siri.
Or it could also be because it's not in supervised mode.
But they are in supervised mode. Mine is.
No, they're not. Mine's not.
Mine is.
Go back to devices.
It has to be because I enrolled it through ABM. Yours was not, but mine was.
Mine's enrolled via ABM. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Supervised mode. Oh, sorry. No, they're installed with user affinity. Sorry.
That's what you mean they need to be in non-user affinity mode?
Yeah. So if you go to enrollment and we go to enrollment program and we go here, we go to profiles and we go to iOS.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we've got it set for that, but why would that matter?
So you'll see here where it says you enroll with user affinity. We changed that. Oh, our token's expired.
Yeah, Oops. I see that. Yeah, I mean, I know that we can do it without, but it shouldn't matter, right?
It shouldn't, no.
I don't think it should matter.
I think there is some nuance there, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, so this is definitely strange that it is doing what it's doing. But I mean, obviously you can block all of these, at least a lot of the built-in apps. But it's strange that it's that's unexpected.
Yep.
I mean, we can okay. So we're not going to make any device restrictions settings. So just kind of the summary on device restrictions is that's really the sweet spot of where all the good stuff is on how you want to lock the stuff down. I mentioned while I'm here on templates, I'll at least show you. So the Wi-Fi, you would configure your Wi-Fi profile and deploy that to your device as well. You'll need certificates to make that work. I guess we haven't gone into all that for iOS, have we?
No, we have to a point.
Not recently.
True.
And then if we go into settings catalog, we've got restrictions here. And so there's 180 restrictions here. So we can allow. And I guess allow, yeah. So if you do allow and then you do the toggle off, that would be, so that's the deny on those things. So there's a whole lot of things there. I don't think they have layout in this one, right? And they got a lot of restrictions, block. Okay, so then all we're doing is blocking the bundles there. So I think that's going to be the deal on that stuff here. We're having a hard time with the 3 items at a time in this view. This is annoying. Try that again.
Technology is fantastic.
Okay.
Well, what I think we are in a position to say is we're showing that we can do that lockdown. Those apps, we're surprised that they're there, but if you spend more than the hour that we've spent on it for this build.
Yeah. Well, so regardless, there are additional things you can configure here on. So for a shared mode, you want to potentially enforce the security on the on your pin for it, and you can do so just like we were doing the lock screen message there. So like my personal preference is to do as many things in settings catalog as you can.
Agreed.
Where possible. So this is where the work is happening. This is the stuff that they're putting the effort in on. And so this is certainly where I would spend the time here. So like even here, the web content filter, you can do some stuff directly here. So the deny list, allow list. So anyway, I feel like we've talked about the stuff. We haven't actually shown you a lot of the things.
Well,
but
if we flip over to your iPad, we can show you where that's at, right? So what you'll note when we flip over to Adam's iPad is you'll see, well, we only have the folder on the top, and then we have this. And that's because the applications that we deployed and assigned aren't actually installed. Yeah. So that's why you're not seeing Company Portal, Outlook, or anything like that. If you were to go and install those and deploy them from the store and from Intune, they'll appear there. And
what's strange though, Steve, is that Company Portal should have already come down. It's not an app that we're supposed to have to deploy. It should be part of the enrollment here. See, so Company Portal will be deployed to the users as a required app.
Did you sign into the store?
No, you don't have to.
I think because of our expired.
Oh, right. I mean, sure, probably.
Because I didn't.
Sorry. Yeah, install Company Portal VPP. You're right. That's going to be the issue right there. So we could tell it not to use VPP, but we'd have to rebuild the box in order for that to function.
Yeah.
So we have to fix our VPP. How about that? Oops.
Yeah.
Our bad.
We didn't. We didn't pay attention to our test environment.
Sorry, we're a little bit rusty, folks. We've okay. Well, so we showed you how you can put all your icons into a folder. That's about it. Oops. So yeah, nice. Most of the apps that we were pushing down, the managed apps, should have been VPP apps as well. And so if the VPP token is expired, then it would make sense that the apps would also not be coming down to us, pushed down from here. So if we were to add, like if I was to push this one out, I would expect this to show up on the device. And I'm stupid. I'm not showing you. Sorry, I was here showing you that all of the apps that we've got assigned are VPP apps, and this is the ones that we were attempting to get pushed down and stuff. So that would make sense. Now I can push Company Portal this way. It doesn't actually fix our issue that we're dealing with, but we could push it like this as an example. Save that, and if I come over here now, if you just go to the iPad and use sync from Company Portal, it will see what I did there, Steve?
Okay. Yep.
So I'm going to hit sync. Syncing. I'm syncing. I'm going to sync Steve's. Device not found. Neat.
Because I reset my device.
Oh, already?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, look, sign into Intune. So allow Intune training to manage and install apps. I don't want to, though.
Yep. So that was what I saw as well.
Okay, so then that is where we're getting blocked because they are store apps, not VPP apps. So,
well, it's because it's failing over.
Well, I think maybe because we've got some store apps that are pushed.
No, it's because it can't get to the VPP. It's failing over to.
Oh, right. Okay, sure. I would agree with you there. That could be it. So what you've also learned then is that if you have not signed into the Apple the App Store, if you haven't signed in with an Apple ID, then you also can't get apps pushed down if you don't have your VPP token working.
Yep.
So, yes. We could also show you how to renew your VPP token while we're sitting here.
I'm trying to remember how to renew my.
Well, let's remember together. So under Apple MDM push.
I found it.
No, is this it?
So program if you token. Go change your portal, change your screen back to your VM.
Yep. Right.
And then what we do, we need to. No, that's not the one.
Sure, it is.
No, it's not. That's not VPP. That's the enrollment. So what you want to do here is go to tenant administration. And then what you need to do is go connectors and tokens. Scroll up. And there. And then on the left-hand side, Apple VPP. And you'll select that one there. And you'll go sync. And it won't work. Because it's expired.
Mm-hmm.
So what you actually will need to do is, in my understanding here, is we're going to need to recreate it.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do is go to business.apple.com. It is going to be admin@intunetraining.apple.
Yeah.
And then Adam will need to multi-factor.
Sure will. Ooh, what number am I texting there?
Something 26.
Yeah, that's my super secret Google Voice number that they keep trying to take away from me because I'm not using it. It's my spam cell phone.
And we're going to trust it. And then in here, what we need to do is select Adam down the bottom.
I'm going to hide that for a moment because we always end up with clicking on the wrong thing and showing Steve's
and then you want
home
to go
address.
To preferences. And then under preferences, you want to go to payment and billing, I believe.
Let's see.
And it'll load up and it'll be down the bottom. There'll be 3 separate
current tokens. Yeah.
Current tokens.
So I think we're clear as long as I don't click on too much stupidness here.
Cool. And then you see the Intune training one. We just hit download there.
Okay. So you think that's current?
Yep. Correct.
Okay. Gotcha.
And
all right. So we'll go back here.
And we put in that one there. Yep. Tab. Oh.
Hey, all right. Select file from our downloads folder.
And we go next. Yes, we want to automatically update. Hey, go back. Previous. Automatic app update.
Oh, I thought my brain saw that as yes. Okay.
It's all good.
Clearly it said no, but okay.
So now we have active, and then what should happen is it should now allow. You'll need to update the profile.
Right. So many clicks.
Yep.
Just 4 clicks. Yes.
Talking about inside jokes.
Yeah. Okay, so then let's fix all of them while we're here.
Yep.
That one's fine. macOS doesn't use it.
It was only that iOS one. I've already that one. It doesn't have it.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. So now the question is, will the devices fix themselves?
No.
And be able to get these apps?
Oh, yours should, yes. It'll just take a bit of time.
You wiped yours, so.
Yep, I'm doing mine without Affinity.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're still watching, yay.
Congratulations.
Welcome for the bonus here. We'll get this stuff figured out at some point. All right. So we're going to switch back over here and just see if anything pops up on the screen.
So what I'd suggest...
Look at that. How about that, Steve? All right. So we got Company Portal, which is what we were waiting on. And then we should
haven't deployed the other apps. So
shortly see... the other ones are deployed.
Okay.
At least I'm pretty sure they're deployed. Word and Outlook and stuff. I thought were deployed. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Outlook, VPP. Yeah, it is deployed to our license group, so should come down. OneDrive, what did we get? Word. I don't know if I can see this. Okay. Word. Okay, we'll do that one as all devices. What else do we do? Do we do?
Yeah, I still got all those apps.
Yeah. Don't understand. I have 2 Outlooks. Okay, so should get all that. Then we'll go back here. At least see if we're getting any progress on it. Sync on it again. Love how fast it is, though.
Yeah, man.
Compared to the Windows situation, I don't understand why it's so different. All right. And I shouldn't need to sign into Company Portal here to make anything happen. That's why I'm kind of avoiding signing in, because it shouldn't have to. But we can at least sign in and click on things from here if we want.
So we've set the policy that you can't have repeating characters for your passcode.
Sure. Well, I didn't set my passcode to 0000 anyway, so. Oh, see, set up access. That seems weird. Okay, it already knew it was managed. Sweet.
The interesting thing is, my iPad's come up, it's gone and built, but then it's saying, hey, you need to sign in to do stuff. Like into the, yeah.
Yeah, mine's still saying I need to sign into an Apple ID as well. You don't have to.
Nope.
No, you don't. But it's got to be because we've got some app deployed that.
Oh, totally. We'll have done something wrong. We know this.
Yeah.
And my.
Okay, so let me find the one that's. Okay. So the one thing that's great about these videos, folks, is that you can stop watching anytime you want. But if you want to keep watching and learn some stuff as we figure this stuff out, then that's even cooler. So I'm not going to stress about the fact that we're just poking around. because you may get some benefit out of watching. But if you don't want to watch anymore, feel free to stop or fast forward or whatever. So I can hurt our feelings either way. But we have heard good feedback on like, hey, we just like seeing you screw up everything because we do that too, and that's nice seeing other people do it.
Yep.
Okay, so the company portal. Okay, that's the one. Okay, so now we don't have any more of those guys deployed to us. At least, come on. I just undid them all, and yet you can't. What's the point of having a refresh button if it doesn't refresh anything? It's the same thing as the elevator button.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't actually work. Doesn't do anything. Okay, so I'm syncing back. Uh-oh. That's fun. What happened?
It's trying to get you to do something with company portal.
Yeah, but it lost the screen. That's odd. Okay. There we go. Came back. I don't know what happened there.
Because I'm not user, so I've set up my device as non-user affinity.
Mm-hmm.
All of the apps that we've had targeting the user object do not install.
Oh. Well, I've deployed several to the device, though.
Yes.
See, mine still wants to sign in.
Yeah.
I swear that's not required. I don't get it. Did you sign into Apple or to Apple ID?
Nope. I have yet to provide a authentication.
So what the heck, man? Do we have a misunderstanding of how this works?
No.
Probably. Okay. These settings apply to different enrollment types, with some applying to all enrollment options. Information. This feature applies to automated device enrollment supervised.
Flip your screen if you're going to talk to what's on the screen.
No. I was trying to discreetly do research over here so you can see me Googling stuff. See, look at that. That's not even what I was trying to do. Clipboard type, clipboard text. Try that. So, home screen layout, automated device enrollment supervised, which is what you've done.
Yes.
But not what I've done.
Correct, but it still applies because it applied both. The interesting thing is all the inbox apps that are still sitting there.
On your screen as well?
Yep. I can't show you for some reason. My device is not installing the drivers for the lightning cable.
Apply home screen layout. It overwrites any user-defined layout. So we recommend you only use this on userless devices. You have pre-existing apps installed that aren't included in the layout. These apps are shown in alphabetical order after. There it is.
Yep.
There's our answer. Okay.
Yep.
Hey, okay. So we're not completely stupid.
We haven't done it wrong. It's just
there's a caveat there. So it's behaving exactly the way that they intended, which is if you've given everything a home, then it goes to a place. And if you haven't given it a home, or if you haven't hidden it using the other means, the block options, then it's okay. Cool. That works for me. So I mean, so the easy workaround on that would be, all right, so we would either go into device restrictions and we'd explicitly block things that we want to block, or we'd go back into the home screen layout and we'd add more things to our folder or whatever to make sure that all the stuff goes away.
Yep, that's correct.
All right, so that's better. Why I'm not getting apps and it's wanting me to sign in is still kind of.
It's probably to do with we've got like just a misalignment with the VPP at the moment.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping is.
I'd say we should remove the old VPP token as well, but we haven't done that.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Could do that. Oh, it says it'll delete any associated apps.
Yeah, so then what we'll need to do is do a resync, and it should then sort itself out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the main issue we're running into, Adam, is not a configuration issue. It's the fact that we didn't check our VPP apps because we didn't think that it would be an issue, because everybody assumes that they just keep working forever.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I've got ABM open. Let's go get an app. Yeah, I heard about this really cool new one from an AI engine.
Is it actually in there? I don't think it'll be in there. Oh, no, it is.
Yeah. Wow. Heck yeah. Let's go see if we can get hacked. Three licenses. That's all we get. All right. Now, because we've already hit sync on that connector, it probably will yell at us and tell us we can't do it for a minute here. But we'll try anyway. Sync again. Woo!
No, because it syncs pretty quickly.
Yeah, but it gives you this nice warning like, hey, man, quit it. Leave me alone. Come on, show up, show up, show up, show up. Okay. All right, so since we've synced again, I'm going to sync back here. Now, if you are watching and you somehow manage to successfully do this stuff without ever running into this kind of stuff, please leave a comment so that we can call you a liar. Because I mean, you know, this is life. This is just normal.
Yep.
Where people say, hey, look, we got DeepSeek. Okay, so now we're going to push this one to all devices, and we're going to kind of prove whether the expired VPP token is now the problem on the apps not coming down or not. Okay, so that should come down. Go back here. Oh, sorry. Keep missing that. Okay, so I'll show you. I went back.
Adam's out of experience and making sure that it goes the right way.
It's true. It's true. Okay, so I've deployed to all devices for DeepSeek, and we're going to go back to my iPad, and I'm going to sync it here. I'm going to switch back. Okay. Maybe.
It's very, very exciting to watch all of this go through, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Come on, man. Do the thing.
Yep.
All right. So while that's doing that, I'm going to show you this. So iTunes, DeepSeek. Okay, so we're going to go hit that guy. All right, so you notice we get an ID here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then we're going to do a clipboard type clipboard text, and I'm going to, this is not what I really want. I copied this from another machine. So I'm going to take the ID that I got here, and put it right here, and if I hit enter, I'm just going to get a text file and open up that text file. And there we go. So inside of here, this gives me all the metadata.
Oh, that's very cool.
About the app. So here we go. Look at that. There's my bundle ID down here. All right. And so all you have to do then to create this as a blocked app is we go grab this entry here, and then we'll need the URL from the other deal there in a moment. So we'll come back here and let's see. We haven't added anything to this. This is great. So we'll do block or restrictions block app. Oh, come on. Locked app bundle IDs. Okay, so literally that's the deal. You just put that in like that. And I'm not going to assign this one yet because I do want to get the, I do want to see if I can get it to install at this point.
Yes.
I am just not seeing anything showing up here. And in fact, I don't have any, I wonder if I can get any apps to show as available in my company portal. I just want something to be, I want to see some movement here. Add all users. Okay. I'm going to go add Office. I got to get back here. Outlook. Ooh, Outlook is not assigned anymore, Steve. Thought it was assigned.
Is that the VPP one?
It is.
Oh, so we may have lost all of our assignments.
Very well may have when it rebuilt them. Oh, when it just resynced, maybe?
Yep. That makes sense.
It does that it would do that. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Hey, look at that. So we were right that VPP was definitely going to be impacted by that token expiring. So the lesson you hopefully just learned was don't let your token expire. Because if it expires, now you're in deep poo-poo over here and you got to go figure this out. So not a big deal. Just go, actually, I don't want the Word one because that's the wrong one. And we don't want that Outlook one. We want the OneDrive. That's fine. Okay, so we learned a cool lesson there. Add to all devices, all users, save. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. We should ideally have a better experience now. Synchronize. Yes. Go back over here. Oh my God. DeepSeek's right there. On the second screen because I didn't tell it to go to the first screen, which would make sense why that didn't go there before.
Notice you have less apps there than you did previously.
Yeah. Did you do something?
I did. I went and turned off settings.
Oh, awesome.
So this is all in the configuration profile. So if you go back to your Windows computer, we can step through. So here, go to configuration. Yeah, iOS configuration. That's okay. And you'll see remove inbox apps, device restriction. And all they've done is if you go to the built-in applications or built-in apps third from the top, we've just set everything to yes.
Yeah. So yes, block these. Yep. And it removes all those. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And then you can go through, if you go to the allowed apps, you can even see less. Because right now there's still apps that are in the list because they're not in this drop down, which have been added by somebody. So you need to just go in and say, well, I don't want passwords, music, shortcuts, etc., etc.
Right. So, all right. So check this out then. So now our home screen is getting the right layout. If we deployed more of those items that we put in the deal, that would work. So we've solved that problem. So now I've got DeepSeek here, and I can launch it. All right, awesome. So now we're going to go, and I'm going to deploy our new block policy. So let me name this so that this is.
I'm just excited. My iPad's working now too. So
yeah,
you'll see that it's up. And this is without user affinity. So if we go here and we go, not software updates, we go to VPN, you'll actually see that I don't have any user ID associated with this at all.
So what's your second screen look like?
It's the same.
It's the same. Okay, gotcha.
And this is where I'm getting prompted for a passcode, because by default, when you do it without user affinity, you don't have a passcode. But because we create that test profile that does, it's applying that.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna go back here. So I'm just updating our block policy to say to name it correctly, and then I'm going to now assign that to all devices. And this is pretty cool. So we switch back over here, and I'm going to go trigger a sync in the background again, and do sync. And what we should hopefully see happen is DeepSeek will be hidden, I think. If it doesn't get hidden, oh, look, see, we're getting more stuff. So now OneDrive's coming down. So we know that sync is happening. All right, so I'm going to try to launch that. It still launches. Give that a minute. Come on. All right. There it is. See it? It's gone.
It is.
So just like that, we've got. So I didn't have to deploy a uninstall. So I don't have to go get the app and put it in my app store and then push it down as a uninstall or anything. Literally, just put it in that device restrictions or the restrictions policy here, and bam, it's gone. So that legitimately blocks the application. So just keep that in mind versus the other location, which is the restricted apps list. So we're just trying to report on those and say, hey, somebody's using this. You might want to go look at it. And, come on, let's be.
So the cool thing here as well, Adam, is if we switch over to mine and we go over here and you go, all right, well, I know I previously had it installed on here. Where is it? And I'm going to go search for it.
It's not there.
It's not there.
Yeah. So the only place that I saw it earlier this week was in the App Store. When I had manually installed it from the App Store, I could see the button to launch it, but it said, nope, you can't have it.
So here's the interesting one.
Yeah.
In the deployed apps,
you can see that it's deployed, but yet we
still see that it's deployed.
So if you click it, does it work?
This app is not restricted in any way other than executing.
Liars.
So that's around the restrictions.
That's the MAM restrictions and stuff.
Well, it's MAM and application configuration restrictions.
Yeah.
So you'll see here I have a passcode policy, and that's because by default Apple pushes that down.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's also the passcode policy is probably coming down from compliance settings,
it's
right?
Compliance set. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what's nailing you there. And just in case you haven't watched the compliance video, just know that that's a we've determined that this is legitimately the thing. So we're blocking simple passwords and require a password. So compliance is weird in that in order to enforce compliance, it actually has to apply a policy to you, which is not obvious when you're looking at this, because when you first approach this, you say, "Oh, I'm just trying to set up some rules so that I can mark a device as compliant or non-compliant, but I'm not really trying to take an action or enforce a thing, but you can." And so in order to do that, you have to it has to apply the policy that you're setting. So kind of the point there is that if you go in here and you say wherever it went, the passcode thing, so require a password to unlock this mobile device, this is not saying tell me whether or not it's using a password. It's setting this setting to require a policy or require a passcode. And so you don't actually have to go set a password policy because you're already doing it right here. So just keep that in mind while we're sitting here. It's been a minute.
And the thing to note, and this is really an interesting nuanced component, is because my device has been provisioned without user affinity, I don't have the requirement to put in any credentials. So do I need a PIN code to use the device?
You don't necessarily need it. So that's a really valid question. I would, and so okay, if we go back to the question of our kiosk mode, if we did a true single app kiosk mode, like we talked about earlier, you would probably not do a required passcode. But I would say any scenario where you're going to connect to company data, I would 100% require a passcode, even if it's a shared device.
Totally.
If you got it locked down. But for my friend with the library, he's not going to have a passcode on there for kids to use it. He wants it to sit at that home screen, never lock, never do anything, occasionally reboot or something. And
Well, it's all these new point of sale systems that you see in the cafes and restaurants where they're using iPads and iOS devices.
Same deal.
Why do I need to have a PIN for that? Why do I need to have it locking?
Yeah. Just depends on what your use case is.
Make sure you understand the use case.
Yeah. So we set out down a path, and I think we got there. But I think we also learned some really good stuff along the way. On Steve and Adam haven't looked at their tenant in a while, but I guarantee you hey, comment in if you've made it this far. Comment and let us know. Has this happened to you? Have you expired your VPP token? What's the experience been? So we certainly, that was a great find, and glad we got to walk through it, and we've been able to prove out the rest of the stuff. Bottom line, read the docs on what the different features do. Even back on the docs page where we were looking at the home screen layout, it tells you, depending on the enrollment type and the supervision state, which policies do and don't impact specific scenarios. So make sure that you're not fighting like kind of what we were, which is, we missed that caveat on that setting on what was going on there. So highly encourage you going that route and doing that as well. So I think we are done. Thanks for sticking with us. This was fun. We should do them more often so that they go shorter.
Yes.
But I'm glad we're back on the horse. So hope to see you again soon. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks for watching. Thanks, Adam.
Bye.
Toodaloo.